conventions of British social realism are slice of life, natural lighting, realistic storyline, low budget, unknown actors and realistic clothing. I think throughout my film I've covered all these and I meet the conventions of British social realism. So my film, the genre of my film is British social realism, which is what I was aiming for at the beginning. I've used this by having like a teenage boy who's struggling with his life, with his problems of like drugs and his family issues, which is, the family issues is a very realistic storyline because it happens a lot in reality. It was unknown actors because there was myself and other people who have never been in films before. Like the lighting was natural. I didn't use any edited lighting, so I think I met the conventions of British social realism. For my trailer, there was pace of editing, non-linear. You don't show the climax, you don't show the best bits. The titles and production companies of the trailer and the titles of the film is at the end. Throughout my trailer, I've covered all of these conventions through the pace of my editing. I've got really quick 2-3 second shots. It's non-linear because it's not in a timeline, which is good to show in a trailer. I show most of the best bits of my film, but I do not show the climax, which is very important. And the titles at the end, as it's least, as it is the place where it is most memorable at the end. For my magazine, it was the conventions were like the main image, the background image, taglines, subheadings, mastheads, barcodes, which is everything which should be on a magazine front cover. Which, from looking at mine, I've met all of these conventions, and I'm happy with how my magazine looks. For the poster, it's a bit different from the magazine, as it's got quotes, headings, background image, and title, which magazines can have, but mine didn't. Which is maybe something I could improve on, but I've met the conventions of magazines and posters, which is good because I need to make them look as good as possible. My film could have also hit the zeitgeist because it had a realistic storyline which happened a lot with teenagers in revolt, like in the riots in 2010, and it can be it's realistic and it can be compared with real life events. So the audience who would be teenagers from 13 to 21 or young adults, so they can identify with it. So if it's a realistic setting and there's got realistic unknown actors, they could identify with it. And I think with a fast-paced trailer that like maybe the settings that they recognise or can identify with, then they would be the ones that could mostly be interested in watching the film. In my productions of The Temptation, my film production, they have the main product, which is the trailer, and have the ancillary text, which is the poster and the magazine front cover. I thought that in some part my productions were branded, made it like a branded look, because I had, for the fonts, I had the same font type for my trailer and my poster and magazine front cover. They all had the same font type. However, the colours were slightly different on my trailer to my magazine and poster, as it was harder to see the white colours in the trailer, so I had to change the one colour to a black colour instead of a white colour, which made it different from the poster and magazine. Maybe I could have changed this so it was more, so it was the same, to make that would be an improvement I would make. But from the feedback I've received, it didn't seem to be as much of a problem. So I had the same titles of The Temptation and the same titles as in the production companies, and well, the production companies was another part, as it was BBC Films, BFI, as they was in my trailer at the start, and well, Spaced Out, as that's a convention of the trailer, and and they was on my front cover of the poster and magazine, so that made it also be a branded look. Well, we went to the Electric Cinema up in Birmingham to show off our trailer production to an audience. The audience was was my primary audience actually, because it was teenagers in the 13 to 21 bracket market. Would my trailer make you want to watch the film?
Yeah, I think it kept my attention all the way through. Really, I was really interested in all the way through.
What do you think about the story?
A kid that got involved with drugs and his mum has to help him in the end.
What do you think about the characters in the trailer?
I think they're good. I think they fit the role well. And I like the fact that his mum was involved.
How could the trailer be improved?
I'd make it a little bit shorter. It feels like a really long trailer.
Oh, would my trailer make you want to watch the film?
Yeah, I liked your trailer. It was really good.
What do you think the story will be about?
I think the story will be about drugs and how his mom is trying to get him to stop taking drugs.
What do you know about the characters in the trailer?
One of the characters either sees hallucinations of himself or he has a different ego that helps him understand stuff better.
How could the trailer be improved?
The trailer could be improved by making it a little bit shorter. Other than that, I thought it was really good.
Thanks. Would my trailer make you want to watch the film?
Yeah, it would. I thought the main character was interesting. I thought the story was interesting, and I wanted to see what happened next. Like, did he get rid of the drugs, or did he go back to them?
What do you think the story will be about?
I think it'll be about like the main character, the teenage boy, like his life and his overcoming of drugs. Like when drugs entered his life, he was like bad and that, and him trying to just get rid of them and just stay clean.
What do you now know about the characters in the trailer?
I know that the main character in the trailer is a teenage boy who's basically involved with drugs, and yeah, that's about it.
How could this trailer be improved?
It could be a bit shorter because I think 4 minutes for a trailer is a bit long, but then again it fits in a lot of good story, and yeah, time's filled up well.
Thanks. There was also, in the rendering process at the end of the editing, there was a green blank screen which came out, and I've now corrected that, and it was down to lighting issue. There was also at the end there was a title with thriller on, like one of the most exciting thrillers, which one of my feedback sheets said, "Is it a thriller?" So I had to answer that question myself, and I decided that it wasn't really a thriller from what the trailer shown. So I changed this by removing it and adding other titles into that instead. In the scene with the mask shot, which is the overlapping shot of myself in two places, there is an issue right down the middle where there's a cut in the middle where you can see the main character's arms cut off, which I couldn't actually improve because of the software available, which was PowerDirector. So I wasn't able to actually edit this, which the feedback told me I should have, because of the software available to me. I think in the future I will be able to correct this by having some better software, which I will try to achieve in the future. For the use of media technology, there was 4 stages. There was planning, research, construction, and then evaluation. For the planning stage, firstly we did a PowerPoint presentation to our peers in the class of the pitch of our idea, which was, for mine, was The Temptation, which is about a teenage boy who's struggling with his problems, and we gained feedback on that as well, which was good. We used, for planning as well, we used Blogger, which we was able to put all our work together, so it was all in one place, so it was easy to access and easy to use, which is a good technology available to us. We did a mood board of different media texts and pictures, so our film could be like represented in one big picture filled with loads of different pictures, which was good. In the research stage, we used real media text, which was like This Is England, Dead Man's Shoes, Submarine, Fish Tank, and Room for Romeo Brass. These was all British social realism films, and they was all used to help me understand the genre better and to also gain ideas, which I have done. In Room for Romeo Brass, the trailer had titles in it like his friends with someone or something like that, which I watched it and immediately used that in my trailer, which I have done. In Submarine, I analysed the shots used in that, which was there was a lot of close-ups to show emotion, which was used really well, and I've tried to emulate that in my film trailer, which I think I've done quite well. All of these was done on a Word document, but was all used through SlideShare for the embedded link, which is a technology that we use to get it all onto Blogger. For the magazine, front cover and the poster, we analysed Total Films and Empire by analysing all of the conventions of trailers and posters, such as the taglines and main images, and then for the poster, the quotes and the background and the ratings, background images and ratings. So this was all used and all put on Blogger for digital technology, so it could be looked at very well. The construction phase was the actual filming phase, which we used HD cameras. We had to buy our own SD cards for the highest possible quality, which is what we did and what I did, and we worked really well, and they worked really well on the software available to us. Especially the HD cameras, there was good quality, and the editing showed that the quality was really good. For the editing phase, we used PowerDirector, which was the software available to us available to me at our school, and we used that to do the editing for quite a lot of things, like the trailer, but then also this video and some other little projects we have. For the magazine front cover and the poster, we used Photoshop, which is quite a good software, and I wouldn't probably use anything else because I've now gained the skills of this digital technology to use it in the future. Another digital technology we used was the electric cinema, as their projector was high quality and was able to project the film on a much larger screen than what we could have done. So this was something else that was available to us. Overall, though, I thought my trailer went down really well for the feedback that we received, and I was really happy with how it went, and I was able to correct changes and improve my whole production. Some of the changes that I would make, though, is maybe to have maybe use better software. PowerDoctor was good, but I think it was maybe there was something better to use. Maybe Apple, maybe, I'm not sure, but it could use high quality. And maybe some of the shots, I may have wanted to make it a bit more fast-paced shots, maybe, like the pace of editing. I could have done in the climax and the best bits of the trailer, I would have made it more shorter and maybe more fast-paced. And also the length of my trailer, 4 minutes was quite a long time for a trailer, so maybe I should have realised this and shortened it, but overall I thought it was really good.